Today on Swarty Takes on St. Mary's, we take a look at Troyer's Spices. When Amy and Dan Troyer realized their dream and opened Troyer's Spices last year, they set their sights square on the town of St. Mary's. Located at 110 Queen Street East, they're open 6 days a week. You can reach them on Facebook or visit their website, www.troyerspices.ca, or give them a call, 226-661-8777. Sugar and spice and everything nice. That's what Troyer's Spices is made of. They're one of the newest stores in downtown St. Mary's, and we're going to educate you on what you can get right here in town. I'm here with Amy. She's the owner of Troyer's Spices. Thanks for having me, Amy.
Thank you for coming.
Well, let me start off by asking what made you decide to open a spice store, just dedicated to spices. Why not just an array of things?
Well, my husband Dan and I, we love to cook, and we met actually while cooking. And we found that that's what we enjoy doing on our downtime. But whenever we'd go somewhere looking for spices, we either couldn't find what we were looking for, or you had to buy a whole bunch of it for a fairly high price. So we got to talking a while, and we thought, you know what, there might be some other people just like us in our shoes who would love to experiment and try new flavors, but don't really want to commit to like an $18 container of something they would never use.
What was so appealing about St. Mary's when you could have chosen any other small community or any other city or even another country to open up Troyer's Spices? Why this town? What made this town so appealing to you?
This is our home. Dan has lived here for roughly 7 years, and I've been here for a little over 2. So we decided instead of going to a neighboring town or doing that drive, we felt such a connection to St. Mary's, which is one reason why we live here. And we decided if we're going to make this go, we want to do it here.
Tell us about your product line and what you offer.
We have roughly 94 different herbs and spices right now, and we're always adding to that. We also have 44 salt-free blends, different meat marinades, different rubs, dry rubs that you could either add olive oil to or you could sprinkle on. For vegetables, if you are a vegetarian, you have that option also.
Cool.
So we also then have some salt-flavored salts and some sugar combinations, some different baking blends that we make here, and some that we're just now starting to get in.
Oh, very cool. And for Christmas, I was kind of stuck on stocking stuffer ideas. We're well past Christmas right now. But so my wife wanted some dips or something like that to go with the holidays and whatnot. Can you tell us about the dips that you have?
Sure. We have 6 flavors of dips right now. You can mix them with the base of, if you want to use sour cream, you can, along with cream cheese, you could do that, or a mayo concoction. It's kind of up to your preference. And then you can mix 1 to 2 tablespoons worth of our spice in with your base and chill it in the refrigerator for an hour or 2. We have 6 flavors right now. We have an adobo, we have a Cajun, a dill, a fiesta, a ranch, and a taco.
Oh, nice. We tried the dill. It was delicious. So why should people buy their spices from your store over going to, say, like a grocery store? Something along those lines.
Well, something that makes us different that you can't really get at the grocery store is, for one, I've worked in grocery stores before, and if it's a rather large chain, maybe you don't know how long those spices have been sitting in a warehouse before they even made it to that store. So by the time that the stores actually put that on the shelf and you bought it, it could have been packaged 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh wow, that's a long time.
That is a long time. So here, we have our suppliers in Toronto that we go to every other week, and so there's the quality of it, the fact that our prices are reasonable here, and you can bring in your own jars. So if you just need a little bit, even a tablespoon, you can get that.
Oh, cool.
So you leave, you go home with your fresh spices, and if a lot of people are coming in and they're doing that, that's also moving our inventory, which means everyone is getting a reasonable deal and quite fresh. Also, you can, if you walk into a grocery store, let's say this paprika smoked right here. Normally, you can't just open up the lid and smell.
Oh,
right?
that's really good, actually.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite smells, the smoked paprika. It also comes through the food when you cook with it. But one of the things you know, at a grocery store, you can't sift things around and look at them and smell them too often. Usually they're all, you know, tamper-proof. And if you just need a tablespoon of it, you can't usually tell them, I just want this much for this recipe.
Right.
You also can't customize it. So if, for example, it were a blend, and you went up to me and you said, hey, that barbecue smells really great, but it needs something, or maybe you want it hotter. So here we can add to it. If you say, I want more of a barbecue, I can add a little bit of ancho chili pepper with it, and we can mix it up. You can smell it, you can see what you think. So there is a little bit of customization that way.
Oh, cool.
As long as the freshness factor and, you know, the fact that you don't have to get a lot and you don't have to get just a little.
Right. Well, that's really great because you don't want all that stuff that's sitting around in your cupboards aging and whatnot. And yeah, that's really awesome.
One of the things you don't want that we don't have here is we don't put filler in. So we don't carry MSG. We don't put any filler in or any preservatives. The only salt you'll find that acts as a preservative are the actual salts that are listed as salt.
Oh, okay.
Or the salt.
Okay, do you grind your spices right here on site, or how does that work?
We do actually get most of our spices in either whole or mostly already ground. And the reason for that is, well, there's a couple different reasons. One is some of the equipment to do that, to get the accuracy of it very, very fine, or a particular mesh like in peppers. You need very expensive equipment, which is usually $10,000 to $15,000. So we do have some grinders, but we usually just grind up things that need ground, you know, on demand, like your flaxseed. Mm-hmm. Your flaxseed, once those seeds are broken into, the oil starts to release. If you're taking flaxseed in your smoothie or for medicinal purposes or for your health, it's better to have that ground right before you use it.
Right.
So it keeps fresh. And the peppers, again, the peppers, for example, you know, it could be a whole peppercorn or it could be cracked. We also have butcher, which is smaller. We also have a 32 mesh, which is smaller, and a 60 mesh, which is even smaller. So in order to get it uniformed each time, that's one of the reasons also why we do get some that are pre-ground. But for the most part, the whole spices last longer. And then once they're ground down a little bit, they start to release their oils. So that's pretty much when their shelf life starts, once they're ground.
So that's kind of like coffee or barley if you're brewing beer or making your own coffee at home.
Right.
As soon as you grind it, that's kind of when you want to use it, right?
Right.
So what's the rarest spice that you carry, and what is your most popular item?
Oh, as far as the rarest spice, I would say one of the rarest that we have here is the Spanish saffron. And the Spanish saffron can be purchased in a 1 gram unit or a 5 gram unit. And those are the stamens, like out of a crocus flower. So it takes several hundred to even like make a gram of that. It's considered to be one of the most expensive spices in the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of there's not a huge run on those. But if you are looking for that for certain rice dishes or certain recipes that you have, we do have that here. We have ajwain seed.
I've never heard of it.
It's mostly in the Indian cuisine,
okay.
East Indian, but it's also very good for your sinuses, and it aids in digestion. It's used in a lot of different curry dishes and such, but a lot of people aren't quite sure what that one is. And we also have amchur powder, which is an unripened green mango. So if you were trying to make something a little more sour, you could use that. Also, the marjoram is a herb that not too many people are familiar with, but it's actually one of the sweet ones, and it's Dan's favorite herb in the whole store. And then we have there's 2 really popular items that are non-spice related, and I brought some of those. One of our most sought after items here in the store are some of our Olive Me & Co. products that we get from London in Hyde Park. Our raspberry balsamic vinegar is one that we really can't keep on the shelf. It started leaving around Christmas time, and people keep coming in for it, and we keep reordering the raspberry especially. Great in salads, different dishes. A lot of them can be used like in different stir fries or with vegetables, whether you eat meat or not. The olive oils, our extra virgin and cold pressed. So her whole line is really, really amazing, and people come in for this quite often. Another one of our really, really prominent products that we have trouble keeping on the shelf is our agave nectar that's infused with Mexican vanilla bean. And this is sort of like a honey and sort of like a maple syrup. So you could actually use this on French toast, pancakes, waffles, in your tea, anything you want to sweeten. But because it is a natural sweetener and it has a low glycemic index, it's diabetic friendly in moderation. So even if you want to put it in your oatmeal and you're not quite sure, 1 teaspoon of this is equivalent to 4 teaspoons of sweetener. So this, we have a lot of trouble keeping this in store too, but a very good product that we're proud to sell here.
Excellent.
So one of the things that we do here that's different from most people is if you want 5 pounds of something, you can get it. If you want just a tablespoon of something, we can put it in this tablespoon straw. So if a tablespoon will fit and have enough room to close, it'll price out like per gram. So if you're camping, or if you're going to a cottage, or you're going down south for the winter and you don't really want to fill up all of your spice jars, you can definitely just take a couple of these, and they just snip open with scissors. You can reseal them like we do with when we make them with pliers and some flame, or you can even use a mini binder clip.
For Christmas, I ended up buying my wife some stocking stuffers from here, and everyone at work thought it was a great idea, and I don't know, maybe you got some other business from that. But you do stuff like that, and I'm assuming, from what I've been told, you also do gift baskets. Can you tell us about that?
We do. We do gift baskets not just at Christmas, but throughout the year. This was our first Christmas, so quite a few people got gift baskets. We also do gift boxes. So if someone is wanting to gift someone some spices for their birthday, or for an anniversary, or for Valentine's, or maybe it's a person going through culinary school and they just, they're a foodie, or they just are into spices and herbs, we can definitely make something up that's customized. For birthdays, we have been known to do birthday labels and make it personalized.
Cool.
I do prefer, though, instead of just making up packages and sending them out there for someone to find, I would really prefer when that person comes in and says, hey, this is who I have in mind, this is what they like, because, it's all about the gift, so let's, have the receiver in mind.
Right. Okay. How can people find you, and what are your store hours and website, Facebook,
Right.
social media, that kind of thing?
Yeah. We are on Facebook. You can email us, you can call us, you can stop in. We're open 6 days a week, so we are closed on Sunday.
Thank you very much, Amy, for having me down to your store. It's quite an establishment that you have here, and I'm sure my wife will be in here quite a bit.
Thank you. I really appreciate you coming down and talking to us about our store and the products, and hopefully the community can come down if they haven't been down already. And
well, you can find them online on their website that's going to be up and running here shortly. Search them on Facebook at Troyer's Spices, and you can find me on Facebook at Swarty Takes on St. Mary's. You can also search hashtag St. Mary's Famous on both YouTube and Facebook, and you can find all the videos there. And thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.